Hi, my name is Billy Flowers and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how we can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. And before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So we have reached the end of the trilogy part 3 where this couple, they paid off all their consumer debt and now they're ready to hit this mortgage. So let's get started. So we're going to do a quick recap here. Their income is at $5,850. Their expenses are at $4,066.74. Their debt, which is their mortgage, is $275,313.66. Their cash flow is at $1,783.26. And of course, their mortgage payment is at $1,888.46. And they do have car insurance of $175 per month. Now you see this empty space right here? Remember, this was filled with a Discover card. It was filled with a MasterCard, a personal loan, and a car. It's all gone now. That's why you see this empty space. And of course, they do have the second lien HELOC for $50,000 at a 7.25% interest rate. So since they paid off all their debt, now it's time to hit this mortgage. So what I decided to do is take $20,000 out of the HELOC, and we're going to be using that to put towards the mortgage. So we're going to see how that's going to go. So once we take $20,000 and put it towards the mortgage, we're going to treat it just like we do any other debt. We're just going to put our income in on month one of $5,850, and then that's going to raise the balance, or that's going to lower the balance down to $14,150. Then we're going to have our expenses of $4,066.74 coming out of the line. It's going to raise that balance up to $18,216.74. We have $120.83 getting charged in interest off of this high balance. And the ending balance of month one is going to be $18,337.57. So in month two, we're going to repeat the same thing. We're going to have our income going in, our expenses coming out. $110.79 is the interest. $16,665.10 is the balance at the end of month two. Month three, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $14,982.53 is the balance at the end of month three. Month four, rinse and repeat. Income in, expenses out, interest charge. Now our interest is under $100, $89.90. $13,289.17 is the balance at the end of month four. Month five, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $11,586.20 is the balance at the end of month five. Month six, we have our income, $5,850 going in, our expenses of $4,066.74 coming out. $70 is the interest. $9,872.94 is the balance at the end of month six. Month seven, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $81.49.33 is the balance at the end of month seven. Month eight, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out, interest charge, $6,415.31 is the balance at the end of month eight. Month nine, we have our expenses. We have our income going in, our expenses coming out, $38.76 is the interest. $4,670.81 is the balance at the end of month 9. So you see that our balance now is under our income, so it's flip time. So on the board, I'm going to put the expenses coming out first and then our income going in second, just to see the line going down to zero. Less math, less room for errors. And this is just on the board, so you're going to pay your bills exactly the same. This is just for visual purposes. So we're going to have our expenses come out first now, raising that balance up to $8,737.55. Then we're going to have that income going in, driving that balance all the way down to $2,887.55. Then looking at interest, $28.22. Raising that balance this up a little bit to $29.15.77 at the end of month 10. Month 11, we're going to have our income coming out. Our income going in. $1,132.51 is the balance. $17.62 is the interest, raising that balance up to $1,150.13 at the end of month 11. Month 12, we're going to have our expenses coming out. $4,066.74, raising that balance up to $5,216.87. We're going to put that exact amount in. 1 year, 12 months, done. $20K is done. Now I couldn't have picked a better number to work with, because paying $20K off in exactly a year. So what are we gonna do now? Since we went through this whole scenario, so it's gonna take us 12 months to pay off this $20K. So I'm not gonna keep doing this over and over again on the board. That would be kind of ridiculous. But since we did this whole scenario of $20K, and it's gonna take 1 year. When we're making these chunks, right, we're still paying our regular monthly payment. This $1,888, right? So for the whole year, the first year, look at this right here. For the first year of us making payments, only $5,024.54 went towards the principal of this monthly payment that you are making every single month. But now you're going to see the power of chunking. So in year 2, we're going to make another chunk. You're going to go through the same exact scenario for 12 months. And now look at how much is going towards the principal of your regular monthly payment. $6,856.73. And then we're going to go to year 3. Look at that. $8,754.13. Look at this power of chunking. 4th year, $10,780.30. 5th year, $13,000. You see the numbers right here? 6th year, $15,000. 7th year, $17,933.08. And that 8th year, we're talking about $20K. So it's matching the chunk that you made in that 8th year. $20,603.17. Now in this 9th year, the reason I put done is because this $18,295 is going to be the remaining balance on this couple's mortgage. It's going to be the remaining balance. So what are we going to do? Well, this HELOC is free and clear, right? So we're just going to pay the mortgage off. Whew. Yes, we're going to pay the mortgage off, right? So what is that going to do? What is that going to do, right? What is that going to do? So now that we don't have this mortgage payment anymore. This mortgage payment is gone, right? So our expenses, since I got all this room over here, our expenses now, their expenses is currently $4,066.74, but they're no longer going to have the mortgage payment, right? Because we just paid the mortgage off. So their new expenses are going to be $2,078.28. Now, what about that most important number on the board? What's going to happen? We're going to get some more cash flow, right? We're going to get some more cash flow. So let me get my calculator out so I'll make sure I'm doing this right. Get my calculator out, make sure I'm doing this right. So we got $1,783.26 plus 1888.46. Whew. Oh man. We'll have to get a new marker because man, get kind of light. $3,671.72. Wow, that is amazing. So you can imagine how we're gonna fly through this last chunk, this 18,000. So let me quit talking and let's go ahead and see what's gonna happen. So we have this last chunk in year 9, and we're going to, of course, in month 1, we're going to put our income in, right? And now look at the new expenses. 2178.28 is going to raise that balance up to $14,623.28. We're going to get charged $110.53 in interest, raising that balance up to $14,733.81 at the end of month 1. Month 2, repeat the same process. Income in, we got the new expenses coming out, interest charge. $11,151.11 is the balance at the end of month 2. Month 3, rinse and repeat. Income in, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $7,546.76 is the balance at the end of month 3. Month 4, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out, interest charge. $3,920.64 is the balance at the end of month 4. Then we got month 5, and of course this balance right here is lower than their income, right? So it's flip time. So you know how I do it. Expenses are going to come out first, and then income going in second. So the expenses are the 2178.28 is coming out, raising that balance up to $6,098.92. Then we have that income going in, driving that balance all the way down to $248.92. $23.69 is the interest cost. $272.61 is the balance at the end of month 5. Month 6, look at that. We got the expenses coming out, raising that balance up to $2,450.89. That's it. That's way lower than the income. So we're just gonna put that exact amount in, zero this out. 6 months. Done. 6 months, we are done. Isn't that crazy? It took us, with $20,000, it took us a full year. $18,000, we $2,000 away from 20. It only took us 6 months. If this was $20,000, it still would have took us 6 months. You just would have added $2,000 a year. You would have been $4,450, still under, and you got money left. Look at all this money. Look at the difference between this and your income. All that money left. and this couple didn't paid off their mortgage. How long did it take? 9 years and 6 months. Now, of course, this is a perfect scenario. So 9 years and 6 months, let's just say 10 years, right? 10 years. And of course, if things happen, this is a perfect 10 years. But at the same time, what if this couple, they got jobs? What if they get raises with their jobs, bonus checks, all that? Might even be even quicker. But you got to factor in Christmas. You got to factor in, you want to have, this is 9 years. You want to at least take a vacations, some vacations and stuff like that. You might have some emergencies come up, but I'm just showing you the numbers on the board and what's possible. 10 years done. And remember, this couple started off with $620 in cash flow, and they paid off everything. Let's just say they paid off everything in like 13 years, 13, 14 years. They paid off all that debt. It was, how much was that debt? Like 328,000 or something like that. It was pretty high. Let me check my notes just to make sure. Let me check. I just don't want to be saying a number. $323,000 paid off. Let's just say, I'm gonna be conservative. Let's just say half of this mortgage, this is a 30-year mortgage. Let's just say 15 years paid off $323,000. So they paid off the actual house, a car, 2 credit cards, and a personal loan. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I went ahead and added up the interest for this HELOC just for this mortgage. This one we're paying off this mortgage, the rest of the mortgage. So of course I did the $20,000 8 times, and then for the ninth year I added this up. This is how much interest cost would have been: $6,464.13. Whew, that's that is peanuts. So you're gonna take out your calculator, because I always like to see what the actual interest cost is, right? So we're gonna see what the actual interest cost is. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up Google. You're gonna type this number in: $6,464.13 is what percent. So how much did we actually use? So we used $20,000 8 times, and then plus this $18,295, and that equals $178,295. So that's what you're going to type in. $6,664.13 is what percent of $172,295, and you're going to get a number, and I'm going to write this number down so all y'all can see, right? So this is what we going to get. Whew. Not too bad. 3.63%. Look at this right here. 7.25%. 3.63%. This is the power of velocity banking. See, you're paying less interest than what what it actually says. Why? Because you're maximizing the line of credit, this HELOC, because you're maximizing it because you're dumping all of your income in, and you're just taking out what you need. Cash flow stays in, keeps the interest down. That's what you're paying right there. 3.63% interest. Isn't that amazing? So now, This couple is going to have $3,671 a month to play with, to do whatever they want to do with it. So they can now they can build that emergency fund up. They can start investing. They can, they can do whatever. They can go on a nice vacation. They can save up a couple months of this cash flow right here and take a nice vacation. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, Max out some Roth IRAs. The possibilities are endless. Even might even tap in and get a whole life insurance policy and practice infinite banking. But I'm not even going to touch on that right now. Maybe in a future video I'll talk about whole life insurance policies where you can where you can get a cash value whole life insurance policy and build that policy up, and you can put money in and take money out just like a line of credit, and it's amazing. And it also goes up in value. You get a guaranteed like 3 to 5% a year on your policy on all the money that you put in, because you can put a certain amount in and take a certain amount out, but you're still gonna get the percentage, the 3 to 5% on all the money you put in. It's not like a bank where you take out money and whatever's left, that's what you get. That's what you get your 3 to 5% on. No, 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 no. On a whole life, whatever you put in and you take money out, you're going to get that 3 to 5% guaranteed on all the money that you put in. That's a whole different another game. That's just another layer on top of this. But we'll talk about that in a future video. But this is how this couple is going to pay off all all their debt. And let's just say 15 years to be safe. Let's just say 15 years. It's going to be less than that, but let's just say 15 years to be safe. Isn't that amazing? This is the power of velocity banking. So I hope all of you enjoyed this video and found value in it. And I just want to thank you again for all your support. And we're getting close, people. We're getting close to that 100 subscribers. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.